So what you need to do is be very diligent about taking care of yourself, making sure that you're eating properly, that you're dressed properly, appropriate for the weather, that you have all of the tools that you need to get through the day. Prepare your mind. The whole process of going through law school, the process of going to class on a regular basis, is something that is not ordinary. It's a very specific task, and one of the things that you may find it very useful to do is to prepare your mind. Just imagine that you're in the classroom. Feel that you are participating. Understand your environment and get a sense as to what this is all about. Keep in touch with real life. Don't let real life pass you by. You will find that there will be people in your life, there will be events in your life, there will be situations in your life that don't stop for law school. I mean, life continues to go forward, and some of these events are once-in-a-lifetime events. Some of these events are routine events. When you're going through this very difficult process of going through law school, and you're preparing for class on any given day, yes, it's very important to study, but pay attention to what's going on in the outside world. It's very helpful to read a newspaper, so that you're understanding what's going on in the world. Local newspaper is very important, and if you can read the national newspaper like the New York Times, the Washington Post, or whatever, that's very important as well, because it helps you keep a sense of why you are in law school. It gives you a perspective of the larger world outside of where you are. And one of the things you will find very interesting is that you will be reading about world events and even local events, national events, and you'll be thinking as a lawyer, because that's part of what this process is. You'll be preparing for class on a given day, and each day you'll be thinking like a lawyer. You're training yourself how to think like a lawyer. And you will find it is very helpful to read a newspaper, because you'll be putting yourself in the position of the President of the United States, or a senator or a congressperson or the Secretary of State, analyzing events, analyzing fact patterns, making decisions about how we're going to run this world. And you will understand that this is all part of the process. And you look at a case like Erie Railroad and Company versus Tompkins. The Erie case is a very important case. It has some essentially some fundamentally important material in it. It's one of the foremost cases of law school. And when you're reading this case, you're looking at the case, and you're seeing that there's this fact pattern where Tompkins is walking parallel to the train tracks, and he's in the state of Pennsylvania, and he's hit by something from a passing train. And you're preparing for class the next day, and you're saying to yourself, well, is the professor going to ask very much about these facts, or is he going to talk a lot about, or is he going to ask questions about the holding of this case? Now, this case is a very important case because it did a couple of things. It eliminated what was previously considered to be federal general law, and it also talks about the application of state law by federal courts that are hearing state law matters, and that was very important. And when you're reading a case like Erie, and the night before you're looking at the case, you're reading this case. It's a very detailed case, and then you come across a very profound portion of the decision, and it says this: except in matters governed by the federal Constitution or by acts of Congress, the law to be applied in any case is the law of the state. And whether the law of the state shall be declared by its legislature in a statute or by its highest court in a decision is not a matter of federal concern. There is no federal general common law. Congress has no power to declare substantive rules of common law applicable in a state, whether they be local in their nature or general, be they commercial law or part of the law of torts. And no clause in the Constitution purports to confer such a power upon the federal courts. You're reading that paragraph and you say to yourself, gee, that sounds really important. That sounds very profound. And in any given case, any situation, you're looking for that material the night before you attend class. You're looking for these profound statements of the law, such as we have here in Erie v. Tompkins. And you say to yourself, okay, now this sounds like the nub of what we're talking about here. You look at the area of law, and you're in civil procedure, and you're talking about application of state law. Okay, here you have it. So go through the process of reading the cases. Look in the case for those profound articulations of law. Understand them, understand the process, and that's one of the most important things for you to do in preparing for class.